Coming to you almost live from the Herbert I. Greenberg Studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and welcome everybody. You made it. You made it to another week. And you're here on the other side of this screen, and for that I thank you. Listen, folks, there's a lot of big things happening in Rocky Mount. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. I mean, look at what it looks like now. This is the skyline behind me. Tonight we have a special guest, a man who's making things happen in this city. He's got the vision, he's got the drive, and most importantly, the patience to deal with all of us. Mayor Sandy Roberson is here. So folks, Rocky Mount they've been making moves, folks. The economy's buzzing. New businesses are popping up, and the roads, well, let's just say they're sprouting roundabouts like gremlins in a rainstorm. But hey, I'm sure our mayor has some thoughts on that. And lucky for me, he's here tonight. Lucky for all of us. Anyway, before we dive into tonight's show, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Sparkling Creations, the Party Wizards. They can turn any event into pure magic, whether it's a wedding, a birthday bash, just an excuse to celebrate getting through another week in this heat. I'm telling you, they've got the rentals, the planning skills to make it unforgettable and stress-free, which is the most important part. Look, folks, we're talking bounce houses and water slides, and yes, my favorite, they've got a mechanical bull, which I've ridden. And I'm still considering a showdown on the bull with my nemesis, actually a nemesis challenge on the bull. But stay tuned, things could get interesting. So you might have heard tonight's guest is throwing his hat. Wish I had a hat to throw. Back in the ring, this time for a congressional seat. He's probably already started working on his campaign, but you know, he might have some tough competition out there because I, Sam Bass, am also considering running for a seat. That's right. In fact, I've been brainstorming all the ideas for a campaign, and I've narrowed it down to the top 5 points that I will run on. So sit back, I want you to hear them. Here goes. The top 5 points I will run on as a candidate. And let me go ahead and tell you, these are going to be executive, what's it called? What's Trump call it? Executive, what is it, Bobby? Yeah, these are all going to be executive orders. I screwed that up big time, sorry. You can fix that, can't you? We'll just leave all this in there, what makes it even better. This is all Carrie's fault. Okay, so number 5. This will get me elected on its own. I propose a ban on Mondays. Mondays are officially canceled. We're going to do like every restaurant in Rocky Mount. We're going to start the week on Tuesday, and everybody gets an extra day to recover for the weekend. Believe me, I need it. Look out, Carrie. Number 4. Folks, people need hope. They need something to look forward to. That's why I'd like to see this happen. Elf Tights Friday. We're not talking about the casual Friday. That is played out. I would like to encourage all of my constituents to embrace their inner elf with an elf-themed Friday. Let's make it happen. Suit jacket on top, elf tights on the bottom. I might have them on right now. It's like an elf mullet. Beautiful thing. Number 3, I promise to bring about a vinyl revival movement. If you elect me, I promise I will fight for the rich crackling sound ritual of placing a needle into the groove. You know, streaming might be easier, but it lacks depth. It has no soul. I, Sam Bass, am leading the charge to bring back vinyl, ladies and gentlemen, and not just as wall art, millennials. Number 2, a practical bipartisan approach I like to call cigar diplomacy. It's about building alliances and mending bridges through the fine art of cigar appreciation. I plan to use this on my nemesis. That is, if John Check is even man enough to smoke a cigar. I bet the only thing he puffs out is his birthday candles. But then again, considering how many he's got, I guess that might be considered impressive. The citizens of Rocky Mount, you can trust that if Sam is holding a stogie, and I wished I had one, but they won't let me, Robbie won't let me smoke one in here. Wisdom is being dispensed in plumes of perfection. And my number one campaign point that will get me elected, and I hold this one close to my heart, I call it the Bourbon for All initiative. Because I strongly support every citizen's right to sip top-tier bourbon. Whether you're sipping neat, on the rocks, or mixing it into something that will make purists like myself weep. That's freedom, folks. However you want to do it, you do it your way. But here's the good bourbon, deep thoughts, and absolutely zero judgment. So, what's that noise? Is the green room on fire again?
New mail alert.
I've got mail. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie, ladies and gentlemen. It's rare to see her. We've got mail. Let me open this envelope. I'm going to do a Karnak deal here. I love mail. Dear Sam Bass, let me start by saying I love the show. I love how you somehow keep Rocky Mount entertained night after night. With that being said, that blooper reel, stumbling through your words, completely blanking out names. Come on, Sam. I know almost live TV can be hard, but you've got to do better. Consider it sincerely. Hang on. Sincerely, Woozy and Wilson. P.S. I see you've got one of those fancy blue check marks on your Instagram now. Verified. I guess they'll give those things to anyone these days. That's not true. Sit tight. We'll be right back with my good friend, Mayor Sandy Roberson.
If you're planning a party, wedding, birthday party, baby shower, or corporate event, Sparkling Creations can make it memorable for you. With tents, tables, bouncy houses, and more. We can even provide a fire pit for outdoor events. If you want to be adventurous, we have a mechanical bull. You name the event, and Sparkling Creations has you covered. Located at 976 North Winstead Avenue, Sparkling Creations, where we make every event sparkle.
As promised, Mayor Sandy Roberson is here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Great to have you. Now, I do want to ask you, do mayors ever get fan mail, or is it mostly about angry letters or about roundabouts?
Woo, I occasionally get the request for a selfie, which I enjoy still every now and again.
We're going to get one before you leave.
There you go, a little selfie. But more often than not, I get hey, I know you don't want to talk about business, but, and then the litany of requests come by. Somebody's picked up my trash. Nobody's picked up my leaves. We've got a pothole, on and on and on. But all kidding aside, really, it's been most rewarding. I have really enjoyed my tenure as mayor. I appreciate the trust that the residents in Rocky Mount have provided to me and given to me, and really believe like we are moving in the right directions.
Yeah, I agree. As we talked about, look at the background is Rocky Mount. Look what he's done.
That's it. It's our vision board.
Yeah, exactly. So what inspired you to get into public service and more specifically to run for mayor?
So I actually considered moving out of Rocky Mount. Went through a whole interview process. Several friends were suggesting I maybe move to Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Charleston, and I went down and really looked and interviewed. But what it really came down to is I didn't want to leave family, friends, and a community that I loved. And then after I made that conscious decision that I was going to stay and commit myself, started reading the paper and and frankly got kind of angry about some of the things I was reading. And I really felt like we were headed in wrong directions, and really felt like maybe I could bring something to the table. My hope was that I just changed the conversation a little bit, that we would change the narrative in different directions, and really didn't expect to win. I mean, I really didn't. And so you are looking at the dog that actually caught the truck. But I tell you, it has been a good thing. Again, I believe we're headed right directions, and it's a process, not an event, right?
Well, you've definitely been very good for Rocky Mount. You've been a great mayor.
Well, thank you for that.
What has surprised you most about being the mayor?
How slow government works.
Yeah.
I got to tell you how slow government works, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But you know, I've come from private enterprise where yesterday was almost too late in most initiatives, and so it's really frustrating to watch things kind of grind through a process. But on balance, you know, we probably don't need to be making rash decisions in those circles anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, to get a little personal.
Sure.
What's a little known fact about you that might surprise people? So I want to say something. This may not be a proper question, but I heard that you donate your salary every year to a nonprofit. Is that true?
It is true.
That is true. Awesome.
It is true. You know, I felt like that was a good thing. One of the things that happens when you become mayor is that you get a lot of requests for charitable, you know, contributions, opportunity, and I really felt like that was the best and highest use of my salary, and I've been happy to be able to do that. Really and truly, been blessed.
That is an awesome thing, and there's probably a lot of people who don't know about that, but you know it now.
You do. You sure do. So much for outing me on the secret.
There you go. So I want to talk a little bit about your family. You've got twin daughters and 2 sons.
I do.
So Carrie tells me one of your sons sounds exactly like you when he speaks. Is that true?
I've been told that that's true. I don't know. I don't hear it myself. In fact, I don't even hear my own voice in quite the same way that other people do. But I am told that Chuck has a voice that's very similar to mine.
Well, I'm going to tell a quick story. I got to clean it up. And I hope you remember this. But,
I'm scared. I'm turning red.
There was a dinner going on out at Bienvenue.
Right.
And I was pre-gaming at Goat Island. And I was paying the bill. There was a guy sitting at the bar. Another guy walked in, and the guy at the bar said, "What the heck, dude?" And the guy that came in said, "That's a heck of a way to greet somebody."
Yeah.
And so I made the statement to them. I said, "Look, I'm getting ready to go to a dinner with the mayor, and I'm going to say the same thing to him." And the guy said, "The mayor's my dad." And so when I went to the dinner, that's what I did. I
did.
The word's not heck, people, I'm telling you. And I said that you completely understood it when I told you that.
I did. You found one of my sons.
That's funny, man. Things work out great sometimes, and that did.
It did.
So I got some pictures I want to show.
Can't
pop
wait.
up.
Yep.
So like we did with Sparati. Matt, how you doing? So this first one, I want to ask you, do you really like cabbage, or are you preparing for the world's most intense coleslaw showdown?
Sam, who doesn't like cabbage? Of course I love cabbage. You know, I'm trying to share it with the world in that picture.
Well, that's a great picture. It looks like you're doing great things for the community. So this one looks like you might have been misbehaving on the first day back to school. Maybe you can tell me what's really going on here?
Well, what we did is a toy drive for children in Rocky Mount with the Rocky Mount PD, and I wanted to go out and give some support to our officers and appreciate the good work that they do day in and day out, protecting us and holding that thin blue line. And it's something that when they get a chance to really integrate with the community, it's just a wonderful thing.
So what about this one? It looks a little suspicious to me. Did you sit on a whoopee cushion or something in this picture?
I don't recall sitting on the whoopee cushion. It might have been the actual thing.
You
Who
may
knows?
get one here if you're not careful. Do you remember what it was about?
I do remember that. That was actually a campaign event.
Okay.
I guess the folks liked I was a little thinner in that picture, and maybe that's the magic behind it. Where'd you get all these, by the way?
This is all by my crack staff out of Macon, North Carolina.
I am
We have
frightened at so many
staff
levels.
of thousands.
I am frightened at so many levels, Sam.
Okay, so this one, the expression on your face is saying, when you finally meet your literary hero and they're too cool to acknowledge. What are you really doing in this photo?
Who doesn't love the cat in the hat?
Everybody
I'm
loves
telling
the
you,
cat in the
the
hat.
cat in the hat. Are you kidding me? And it's so intriguing and challenging, and it really challenges your mindset. I love it. Yeah.
They're great pictures, and
It
I
is.
see you all over the community.
Right.
And you're doing a lot of good things. So.
Well, we try to be over the community because it's important for folks to really be able to. I try to inspire where I can. I try to, particularly when it comes to kids, really try to promote activities that give them any leg up and any advantage to be as successful as they possibly can be.
That's very good.
Yeah, thank you.
So moving on. So Carrie, who maybe
Right over
sitting here in
there.
the studio,
Yeah.
your chief of staff, told me that she thinks you are related to every other person here in Rocky Mount. Are you Rocky Mount born and bred, right?
I am Rocky Mount born and bred. I sure am. And I don't know if I'm related to everybody, but between me and my wife, who's a Stone, for crying out loud, I think we're related to a goodly portion of Nash County for sure. Between the Morrises, the Powells, and the Stones, it's a wide range of folks.
Well, I'm the same way in Wilson. Between me and my wife, we're related to everybody in Wilson, I think. So what's your favorite thing about Rocky Mount?
I love the sense of community. I love the sense of folks who are here, this can-do entrepreneurial spirit, who really want to move forward and be successful. I love that. We fight with ourselves, but at the same time, that's our family. Don't you dare come in and talk about us. That's right. We can talk about ourselves, but you can't talk about us.
That's right. Do you have a favorite spot that you like to relax or unwind? Is it on your back porch, or is it somewhere out in the community?
I at my house, I love sitting in my backyard. I've got a little outdoor fireplace, and it is fantastic. Jennifer and I have a chance to go out there and talk and unwind during the day. It's fabulous. In the community, I love going out to Battle Park. I've been doing that since I was a kid, and just watching the waterfall and the falls. It's just it's a beautiful place, and it really helps me recenter myself.
Well, what's the one thing you wish that more people knew about Rocky Mount?
The opportunity that's here. I think we spend too much time talking ugly about ourselves and displaying ourselves in social media, and I really think that is a hindrance to us. I think there's so many more things that are great about us than what we want to talk about, what we want to advertise.
That's one thing that really bugs me.
Sure.
When you get on social media and you see people from Rocky Mount slamming Rocky Mount.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that just really just.
And I'm not even
always been
sure
a pet
they're all
peeve.
from. I'm not even sure they're all from Rocky Mount. But regardless, when you look at the city and its impact to the region and the impact that it could have, we're all kind of hitched to this train together.
Right.
So you can talk about one or the other, but I can rag on Wilson, I can rag on Rocky Mount or Tarboro or Nashville, whatever. But we're all in this same bus together, and so the impact of us creating that kind of division is really not healthy for the community or for the region. And I think that's important for folks to understand.
Right.
And look, that's not to say I don't get frustrated from time to time, but I think everybody does. Doesn't mean you need to be talking about it.
Right, I get it. So if somebody were visiting Rocky Mount for the first time,
Sure.
what is one place or one event that they absolutely shouldn't miss?
Wow.
I'm thinking of one, but you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I want to hear yours first.
I was going to say Rocky Mount Mills.
I'd say Rocky Mount Mills is fantastic for sure, but see, there's so many places to go.
Yeah.
We're doing some cool things downtown. We're starting to see revitalization going down there. I am grateful to the Goodmans and all that they've done at the mill. Really, they demonstrated a proof of concept of what can be in Rocky Mount. I think when a lot of folks had given up on the community, I think that certainly is an iconic place that demonstrate that. I think the 336 acres that we have acquired and we will be developing out on 6495 is a big deal, and I think it'll show a lot of positive things. And the list goes on. I'm proud of our medical staff at the hospital. I think that's a big driver of the local economy, and I think that's something we should all be proud of. And I don't think we have enough time for me to continue with the list, but anyway, I'll just stop there and apologize to everybody I did not mention.
That's okay. But I know there's some new stuff in the works, and one of them, I've been hearing whispers. I actually was involved in this a little bit.
Yeah, you were.
About a new commuter bus system.
Sure.
I know some of it's top secret stuff, but can you shed a little bit of light on what they're talking about doing?
Yeah, I don't know that it's super secret right now. I think that we are in the process of getting a grant. So it started really with DMV moving here in Rocky Mount. Right. That predates me quite a bit. But we were able, I say we, Carrie, and I, little I, had an opportunity to resurrect that idea and brought some of the original stakeholders into play. And what we're trying to do is create a commuter bus system from here to Raleigh, from here to other points east and north. One of the things that we have as a challenge is when big employers come to town and we're trying to sell Rocky Mount. Right. They want to know, where are folks going to come to work here in our plant? And the reality is, it's a very small number if you're talking about 10 miles or 15 miles, but when you stretch that radius out 50 to 60, 70 miles, it's a catchment of about 3 million people. Mm-hmm. And so it's incumbent on us to create a live, work, play here in the community to make people want to move here. But in the meantime, if we can capture those jobs, the tax base, the utility spend that these guys are bringing, and if the holdback is they don't have the number of employees, we think the solution is a commuter bus system. And it's
great idea.
We've got a proof of concept that I think we'll be launching here very shortly. We have some grant money from DOT, and it's been a long slog to get there. We've got great partners in Southern Express. So anyway, I am excited to see that. I think we're going to see some measurable outcome from that particular project.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Me too.
I want to say this. You mentioned your Chief of Staff, Kerry.
Sure.
So let me tell you, folks, in case you don't know, if you ever saw The Wizard of Oz, you got The Wizard of Oz up on the screen, but then you got the person behind the curtain. That is Kerry. She's the person behind the curtain controlling The Wizard of Oz.
Well, I'd like to say stop short of saying controlling, but I can tell you what, I can promise you this, I certainly couldn't do what I do without her.
I understand that. I love her to death.
Yeah.
So you've got your own TV show as well, correct?
I do. The Mayor's Brief.
The Mayor's Briefs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, The Mayor's Brief.
Come on now, Sam. You know I'm a boxer, man.
One letter makes a lot of difference. So tell me a little bit about the Mayor's Brief.
What we try to do is we try to break down the city council meeting, because there's a lot of conversation that occurs behind the scenes, a lot of conversation that occurs in closed sessions that we can't necessarily talk about, but we try to make an attempt to explain what happened in the city council meeting beyond just the headline. And so I do it with the Mayor Pro Tem, whoever that is, typically every Tuesday after a meeting, and then in between those times, we like to talk to people who are newsmakers and movers and shakers in the city of Rocky Mount.
It's a good show. I watched it.
Thank you, yeah. We have to get you on.
I'll be glad to come on. I don't know if I have anything interesting to share.
Well, I don't know about that. We don't serve bourbon, just so you know, so you got to preload if you're going to come.
Well, we can make something work there. So, other than being on this show, what is your most memorable moment as being the mayor?
I think clearly it's the show. I haven't got beyond it, Sam. I mean, good gracious. Lots of things. But really being able to sit, I think generally just being able to sit at the table trying to help bring industry and jobs into our community has been the one thing that has given me the biggest charge on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll say it again, you've done a great job.
Well, thank you.
So with that being said, I want to talk about
Drink some more.
Yeah, well, if it helps loosen me up a little bit. Like I need that.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about your new campaign.
Sure.
So what's the most unexpected part of running and campaigning for Congress?
Wow. The first district is 22 counties, goes from Currituck County to Granville County, down south to Wayne County. It might be close to 25% of the geographic landmass of the state. And so just simply covering that, and the diversity of issues from coastal fishermen, shrimpers, to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in Wayne County, to our local issues, trying to understand those and trying to connect with people in a way that's meaningful and to understand the issues that can represent, I think is one of the bigger challenges for sure. Yeah. But it's one that I've enjoyed. I love the people of the district. My family's been here for several generations. My daddy's folks are from Martin County. My mother's folks from down the southeastern part of the state, but she was born in Edgecombe County, and I live in Nash County, and on and on and on.
So, if elected.
Sure. When elected.
When elected.
That's what we're saying. Sorry. When elected.
We're 6-0 on here.
That's exactly right. Well, there you go.
So, when elected, what's the first thing you want to accomplish? Is it Elf Tights Friday, or have you got something else in mind?
Well, I got to tell you, Sam, I'm a little worried about your platform. I mean, just doing away with Monday alone.
I'm never getting elected alone.
You know what? I may just steal that from you, and I hope nobody's watching.
Well, so every restaurant downtown Rocky Mount is closed. So
see, they're already starting to embrace it. Look at that. It's taking on. It's catching.
So, what's one thing people get wrong about politicians, or you personally? Is anything?
Well, I mean, yeah, people tend to believe the 30-second soundbite or 15-second soundbite, and it's just not true. You haven't had a chance to meet folks, and I just think that's true for everybody, and that's very frustrating that people are so quick to judge with so little information. But you know, I've got to the point that I'd rather have people fly off the handle. Because at least that means that I'm making a difference. Somehow or another, people are remembering me.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I can't endorse you, but I will say he's a great guy.
Thank you.
So I got one more question.
All right.
We hit a lot of people with this.
Can't wait.
If you were invited out to Sam's Shack, which is my backyard place, and you could pick a cigar, a drink, and a vinyl album side, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you are. You really are.
What would they be?
All right. Well, cigar, I like Maduro wrap because I like a little bit of a bite that it gives. The specific brand is something we could probably work through. Probably would go with some sort of rye whiskey, maybe Rabbit Hole. I'm guessing. Don't know what your shelf looks like. And vinyl side, I got to tell you, I'm a product of the 80s, so I'd probably pick Synchronicity from the Police.
Great choice.
And just listen to every single one of those.
Synchronicity, when they came out with that album, I saw the tour.
Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I got a chance to see Sting down in the Bahamas maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it was very nostalgic. So anyway.
Very, very good.
So that would probably be it. So when are we coming, and when are you going to have that album ready?
We're going to do it. I've got that album. I've got it on vinyl. So
Perfect.
We can definitely make that happen.
Perfect.
Sandy, I want to thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate the opportunity. This has been great fun, and love to do it again sometime.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you've done for Rocky Mount.
Well, thank you, and I'll say the same to you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Hey, I want to thank my special guest, Mayor Sandy Roberson of right here in Rocky Mount. He's a great mayor, and he's running for Congress. So stay tuned for that. Remember, folks, every Thursday night at 10 and Saturday night at 10, Up Late with Sam Bass. Make sure you tune in. Thanks for watching. See you soon.